Hello, social psychology. Here is my final presentation. After much searching, I finally decided to choose Chapter 3, The Core Elements of Social Cognition. Just kidding, Christina, stop being so dramatic. You knew the entire time that you were going to pick the core elements of social cognition, and I'll tell you why. This chapter included certain things like schema, which is a mental structure stored in our memory that contains prior knowledge and associations with a concept. If that doesn't make any sense, let's look at it like this. And our reading gave a great example of this. If you are at the library and you categorize a person behind the desk as a librarian, you instantly access a schema for the category librarian that contains beliefs about which traits are generally shared by members of that group, like intelligence, theories about how librarians' traits relate to other aspects of the world. For example, librarians probably do not enjoy extreme sports, and examples of other librarians you've known. Using these schemas, people can interpret ambiguous things they encounter by using prior knowledge to go above and beyond the information given. Examples of schemata include academic rubrics, social schemas, stereotypes, social roles, scripts, worldviews, and archetypes. Stereotypes. Anything that has to do with stereotypes, racism, anti-feminism has my name all over it. Schemas represent knowledge about events that are called scripts. Schemas that represent knowledge about other people are called impressions. Similarly, we can have a schema for a category of people, such as sports superstars, called a stereotype. Oh, there's that word again. What stereotypes can you think of when it comes to people with tattoos? Are they criminal, uneducated, lower class perhaps? I knew that this was where I wanted to go with my experiment. So I set out to find some images of tattooed individuals and wanted to see if people associated tattooed people as criminals and whether or not they had a certain career. I thought I'd make this extra fun by adding people of color and women to see if other stereotypes would be involved. I took 9 photos and made a sheet of where I asked people to guess what kind of job they had and also guess if they've ever been incarcerated. The jobs included doctor, nurse, artist, athlete, business owner, student, I think we can all agree that's basically a job, politician, or no job. My theories were that those with tattoos would most likely be assumed to either have no job or be considered an athlete. I also theorized that those with tattoos would be associated with the incarceration. Needless to say, I was not disappointed. I reached out to Facebook asking a mom group to participate, and then a general Facebook group in the area to participate, some people from work, my friends. I also wanted to see what children would say and videotape the experience with my son's Boy Scout den. Here are some of the conclusions that can be made by my answers. Women were more likely to associate the women in the pictures with jobs that were considered more powerful or required more education, like doctors and lawyers. They were also more likely to choose women as being a politician or business owner. Tattooed individuals were pretty even split with whether or not they were a criminal. Younger women, however, were more likely to not correlate tattoos with jail time. Men were more likely to associate women with being a nurse, student, artist, or having no job. They were also more likely to associate the males with jail. Males were more likely to associate people of color as being in jail, being athletes, or having no jobs. Men were more likely to associate tattoos with jail time. Younger males, however, were more likely to not correlate tattoos with jail time. People of color were more likely to associate other people of color as having jobs like doctors, lawyers, or business owners. Yet, surprise! Caucasians were more likely to associate people of color as being in jail, being athletes, or having no jobs. Working with kids was extremely limited, unfortunately. I was supposed to have over 30 children participate, and only 3 showed up. My life. My luck. The children associated men with more powerful jobs and the people of color as being athletes. Tattooed individuals were more likely to be associated with jail time. Thanks, kids. Glad I know what you think of me. So, who are these people in the photos? Number 1, white guy, tattoos. He's a doctor, never been in jail. Number 2, business owner. And yes, she's been in jail. Her name is Estebal Carranza. She was an Austrian ice cream shop owner who murdered her ex-husband and ex-boyfriend, dismembering them with a chainsaw and then storing their body parts in her ice cream shop's freezers. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Number 3. Can you guess what he did? Politician, no jail. Vladimir Franz. He was the runner-up for the Czech presidency. Number 4. A lawyer. No jail time. Number 5. Politician. Most people said artist for this one, and I can't even blame them. I think it's the scarf. Do you know who that is? Can you believe he's been to jail? That is a young photo of Joseph Stalin. You can decide if that's a bad person or not. Number 6, a nurse. No jail. Number 7, an athlete. And yes, he's been to jail. His name's Thomas Clayton. He actually murdered one of my high school classmates, his wife, a couple years ago. Number 8, a lawyer. Yes, he's been to jail. His name is Todd Macaluso. He was actually Casey Anthony's attorney and has recently been arrested for drug trafficking. Number 9, a lot of people chose her as an athlete. I mean, with that six-pack, perhaps it's obvious. Her name is Natasha Kai. She's never been to jail, and she's actually a gold medalist soccer player. Overall, this was actually a really fun experiment. It was most interesting for me to actually find some of the people to use because I myself would have never guessed that the Czech guy ran for president. Maybe that's what we need, a tattooed president. Anyway, I really wasn't surprised by much of the responses because, like I said earlier, cultural psychology and topics such as racism and stereotyping are topics that I like to learn about and I don't willfully ignore. It was most fun to work with the kids because I was really interested to see how primed they had been to some of these stereotypes. Anyway, I hope some of this information was informative, and now we know what crazy women who put body parts in freezers look like. Good luck with your finals. What do you mean not that close? All right, everybody gets a pen. Pick the lucky pen. Okay?
Purple or beige.
Everybody is going to have the same piece of paper. Okay? And here's how the test works. Don't give your answers. What you're going to do is at the top is a list of jobs. You have doctor, lawyer, athlete, nurse. Do you know what a politician is?
Somebody that fights for rights?
Basically, yeah, like a president or a senator or a city mayor.
It says, have I been in jail?
Right, we're getting to that part. Business owner, student, artist, or no job. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a letter, you're going to look at the picture, and you're going to decide which person has which job. And then you're going to say, do you think that they've been to jail or not?
I'd say number 3 would.
Well, don't tell me.
Okay.
It's a secret right now. We're going to talk about the answers after you take the test.
Are you taking a video?
Yep, I'm taking a video to prove that I did it. So my teacher knows that I did it.
What's up, ma'am?
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, so we'll start with number 1. Don't tell us your answer.
Oh, God.
Do you think that they're A, a doctor, B, a lawyer, C, athlete, D, nurse, E, politician, F, business owner, G, student, H, artist, or I, no job?
I feel like I...
Don't tell me your answer.
I'm not telling
Just
you.
circle it.
I feel like it.
Just circle the letter under the picture.
What happens if you don't know?
Take a guess.
Random.
It can be a guessing game.
Can you put a check mark if you don't know?
You can like put an X on the person if you're unsure. How about that? So if you really don't know, you're having a really hard time, put an X on the person. And then you have to decide, do you think that person's ever been to jail? Yes or no? Don't say aloud.
Well, I've seen a lot of movies and all.
And also, some letters can be used more than once. So there might be 2 doctors on here, or there might be no doctors on here. But look at them.
Fusha's a doctor. She doesn't know. She looks like number 9.
Fusha looks like number 9.
Kind of. And she's like a doctor. There's no point in saying
Okay, we're gonna go over this real fast. Everybody look at your sheets. And you're gonna give me the sheets at the end. I'm gonna give you the answers, okay? And maybe if you disagree with something or if you're wrong, maybe you can think of why you thought you were right.
You just put an X over it if you got it wrong.
No, you don't have to do anything to it. I'm just gonna tell you. So number 1 is a doctor,
What?
and he's never been to jail.
He's a doctor?
Mm-hmm. Number 2
That's easy.
is a business owner,
What?
and she has been to jail
What?
for something really, really awful.
What?
Number 3 has not been to jail,
What?
and he ran for president
Are you
of a different
serious?
country. Very famous politician that you will learn about later in
I am
life,
getting
and
all
he
of
is
these
a
wrong.
very bad person.
I am getting all of these wrong.
Number 6, look at it. You can look at it. Turn over the paper. Number
The person who looks like that does not really have a job, kind of.
Yeah, and you would think this one's still a student.
So what do you think that means for, I don't know, maybe how we see people
That
in
you
the
have to
world?
get to know them, not just like see them and think that you know who they are.
Yeah?